Welcome back to rulevacantland.com. Just making sure I was hitting the right button. You know what I did? I hit the live stream button and I was trying to make a video about a property. I hit the wrong button. So I just streamed a live one of me screwing up. So if you guys were watching that, that's what's going on. If not, forget it. Here's a real version of this property. This is 120 acres in Northern California. I'm blushing because I really didn't mean to post that one live. But so here's the property, 120 acres. This one's up for sale by Dave Van Stikinski, and I'm sure I'm butchering his last name. But he's got this property. It's 120 acres, and it's got trees on it, and it's in California. It's got a county road. You can drive it right up to it. And he got a drone guy to go out there and take videography of the thing. So the drone like flies up and pans around the area and shows you the trees and the road and the access and everything. It's in the winter, so there's like some snow on the ground, but still, it's a beautiful area. It looks like a great area to go build a cabin, build a retreat, have a place to go play, place to retire, a place to raise kids. I don't know how close the schools are or not, but homeschool some kids or maybe drive them to a school somewhere and run with it. So let's take a look at this thing. It's got some goofy lot lines. Kind of looks like an L-shaped deal with a road going through the corner. I'll see if I can blow this up for you a little bit. See if my internet will keep up with me. Of course it's not, so let's just move. Oh, there it goes. So there's the road and here's the property, and there we go. So he's got GPS coordinates on here. Got that pulled up. It's in the mountains. Next is 395. The 395 goes all the way down to like Mexico. I don't know where it goes to the north, but I've owned properties on it further south, and so I know it goes down there. I'm always giving people directions. 395. I just never realized it went up like the whole country. I know like they refer to a lot of trucking going up that route from Mexico to Canada, but I don't know why they wouldn't use the 5 instead. Maybe they just don't like traffic or get around the way stations or something. But national forest, look at all these. I can't even name them all. Like just national forests in every direction. And we're on the hill that probably should be in the national forest or state lands or some things, BLM lands. Just look at all these trees right to the back of this Buck Mountain. The roads head back in there. And then this is in the foothills of the mountains. 120 acres. So here's some lot lines in this software. It's such a big property, it's hard. It doesn't load right. So it's this big chunk of land here. I pulled up Modoc County on Instagram, and the land that's for sale up there is usually in California Pines. California Pines does a lot of the volume. It's this neighborhood that's like partially developed, and so you might see some ads for that. But here's someone working on a forest fire, some horses. I wonder if these are wild horses or these are like someone's horses, but it's horse country, right? It's cheap land. You can run horses. They can graze on it. My wife would love that. Here's a girl bathing in some hot springs and some countryside and some streams. A kid fishing. We caught a nice trout. Someone hiking mountains, exploring rocks and hills. A guy taking his dog fishing. I don't know if he hooked a fish or he hooked a tree, but he hooked something. And just wide open roads, mountains in the background, crappie, bass, and just countryside, right? Beautiful countryside. Someone's shooting pronghorn, so there's pronghorn in the area. A bunch of deer. Look at this picture. So this one here looks like what I would think the mountains look like that this property is on. This might be from the road just off the side. It might be the property right up there. But it looks like that kind of countryside. So you're looking off across the countryside of where, in the area, it's probably not the right mountain, but I think it looks a lot like that. People catching fish, more pronghorns, farming, pronghorns running down through town. This is the kind of countryside this property is in. Someone taking care of their chickens. You could have chickens up there. I called the county and thought I'd get some more information on this property. Like, hey, you can actually build there, or what can I use it for and stuff. This is a lake that's over next to the property. It's called Goose Lake, and I was looking that up. They're saying the watershed runs down to Sacramento River, like out past San Francisco, when there's a lot of water, which isn't very often, but when it's otherwise, it's that's my alarm. I gotta get the kids pretty soon. Otherwise, it's stays in the lake and dries up. So I got some different photos. There's a little park next to the lake. This is like the grass and trees and stuff that's growing next to the lake in the park. Here's the deer that are growing in the park. Here's a shot of the lake when there's water in it. I think it goes up and down depending on the season. There's an egret. I had one of these in front of my house eating lizards yesterday. Kids were trying to chase them off, try to save the lizards. These guys eat all kinds of fish and lizards and stuff. I started saying I was calling the county. I called the planning department. Planning, for lots of these properties, whether it's this property or whatever property you're interested in, vacant land, right? What can I do with that land? Call the county. Google. This is Modoc County. Modoc County Planning and Zoning. Modoc County or Planning and Zoning. Modoc County. Modoc. Just put in Modoc and you get Planning and Zoning. And Jackie answered the phone. Nice lady. Talked to her a bunch about the property. She looked up the zoning and she said it's unclassified. But before she looked it up, she was making sure it wasn't in California Pines. She's like, is it in the neighborhood? Because I think most everyone that calls her calls about California Pine stuff where all the regulations are. This is not in the neighborhood. This is country land without the regulations. She said, okay, good. That's easy. That easy stuff. That was her reference. It's unclassified agricultural land. So I said, okay, so it's agricultural. Can I put a house on it? She said, yeah, you can put a single family residence. I didn't ask if you could put apartment buildings and stuff, but I asked for a house. She said, yeah, you can put a house on there. Before you can get the building permit for a house that you do through the planning and zoning people, you got to talk to the county office, environmental and health county office, and you got to get a well permit, septic permit. You got to get that squared away before you can get the building permit. So I called, she gave me the phone number to her, and I forget the name of the lady. It's the phone over there, real nice lady there too. And she said, okay, you usually start with the well. It costs $90 to get your well permit. $90. It's like, that sounds pretty good. What do you get for $90? Well, you fill out the application, and a sanitation guy from the county goes out to where you want to put your well, and he gives you an approval, and then well dude drills the well. That costs you more money, and then before they seal it, the county guy goes out there and checks it again, and then he signs off on it, and you're good. He charges $90. He drives 2 ways for $90. So they're not making money on that. That sounded like a reasonable fee. And then, so usually you start with a well, so you got access to water, so you can do the septic system, because I think you got to test the septic system with water. So the next thing you do is you do the septic system. Get your septic dude over there. You got to put an application in with your land use application with the planning commissioner or somebody. I forget. She was talking too fast for my note taking abilities. And then they give you approval, and then you take that. All these applications are on their website. You take that to the environmental office. This is a lady I was talking to in the environmental office. And their phone number, if you're really trying to do this, is 530-233-6310. So hit stop, rewind, replay that one number. Go to the environmental office, and then they send out somebody to do a sanitary check on where you want to put your septic system in. They look at that, and then you have your septic dude install your septic system, and then the sanitary guy comes out, and before you cover up your septic system, he does a final check and runs with it, and that costs starting at $180 for the sanitation guy. And so $180 if it's a basic boring old septic, cement block and some lines that go out to drip the stuff off. If there's something weird about the land or it needs more septic work than that, then the fees go up accordingly. So it starts at $180 and skips up depending on how in-depth of a system you're doing. And all the applications are on their website. Not exactly sure where on the website, but I'm sure you could Google that. And that's it. That's it. You do that, and then you can go to the planning and zoning people and get your building permit. It's pretty straightforward, basic stuff. They're not taking you to the cleaners on fees or anything. And you can build a house, build a cabin, and run with it. And that's the property. So 120 acres in Modoc County, California. I just laid out how easy it is to go build a house. Not to build it, but to get the permissions, you know. And it's the same process. And for lots of these vacant properties, you just call the county and walk through the process. So here's a picture of Dave. There's a picture of me in the little box. This is Dave's land. You should call Dave. His phone number's on the website. His email's on the website. I'll put a link of that to that below, and you can go to this website and take a tour of the property. See if that's the right one for you. Buy it, run with it, build something. Send me a picture. I'd love to hear about what you build. Gets like really artsy looking stuff. You can put it all over Instagram. Watch it go up to the top of the ratings, or better yet, make some YouTube videos about what you're building and show us what you're building. And get some sponsors to give you tools and supplies, and to probably give you garage doors and windows and roofing and all kinds of things. You put some PEX pipe in the floor, they might give you the boards that you can run the pipe through to get heating, get radiant heating through the floor. That's what I'd like to do in a place like this. I'd make the floors nice and toasty so I go barefoot all the time, right? Just run with it. YouTube it up, they'll sponsor you, I'm sure. I might even sponsor you. Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest in these properties. I'm going to keep serving up some more properties until you find the one that's right for you. Thanks. Later. Bye.